Hey, everybody. It's Brett, your thankful carnivore and medium, and with Kate, who's also a thankful carnivore and a healer, a theta healer, an extraordinary theta healer, I would say. And we're happy you're here for another episode of Orna's Garden. How you doing, Kate?
I'm good. Very excited for this episode. I've had my own recent personal journey with this one. That's kind of one of the reasons we picked this one out of the hat. So very excited to jump into what chakras really are, a more maybe like extensive understanding and like how to use them to create your reality.
This is going to be interesting because uh, Orna Orna focuses on encouraging humans to use their higher self to regulate their chakras. So this is going to be different, two different perspectives on it. So let's get the channeling and see what happens. What do you say? And
I'm
remember,
all for it.
creators first today.
Okay.
Ladies first.
Okay. Um, Today we're going to share with you a deeper understanding of what the chakras are. And so can we start by and just say yes to these downloads, but can we start by disconnecting you all from your collective consciousness's definition, understanding, and practices of the chakras? Can we download into you that you have creator's highest definition and perspective of the chakras? Can we download that you know how to witness, understand, integrate, and experience the chakras at their full capacity? Can we download that you are now at oneness and in oneness, that you witness and experience the oneness of your chakras? You witness the language of your chakras. You have the language of your chakras. You have the ability and you allow the safety of being in the oneness of your chakras. And can we teach you that you know how to reconnect, that you do reconnect, and that you are reconnected to the expression, to the frequency, to the voice, and to the language of your chakras? Say yes to download, and those are complete. To start with this understanding, our first channel of this with Kate was explaining to her, we use the language of that you have 7 brains. Now we would like to clarify that you have more than this, but this is a way in which you guys can start understanding the connection to your own body better. Previously, you have experienced a life where you believe that your mind is in control. Your mind creates your reality. Your thoughts create your reality. And these, if you imagine a lily pad of information, if we were to give you the information of the extent in which you create your reality and the actual mechanics of how that works, it would be so overwhelming that many of you would walk away before the information was able to even be ingested or embodied or witnessed. So what we have done, well, you have done, as we are all in one, is we have sort of slowly began to integrate this process of you guys understanding and being consciously aware of how you create your reality. And today we would like to discuss how the chakras are creating your reality. So many of you guys have already understood that you are living in sort of a hologram of your own making. But there's immense frustration in how do I control what I am creating? Because oftentimes you'll see that if I think something, if I give energy to it, I do see a change. If I do belief work in my subconscious and I change things, I do see change. But one of the questions that Kate had asked us at the very beginning of her understanding and her conscious awareness of what she's channeling is, what is the subconscious? What is it? Many of your psychology books have been teaching you that the subconscious is the brain, it is the mind, it is the behavior patterns, it is this sort of thing that controls you. And we would like to disconnect you from that definition and give you the definition that your subconscious also includes, it is your mind, it is your thoughts, but it is also all of the cells in your body. It is the organs in which they are comprised of. It is your auric field. It is your connection. It is the entire system in which you are living in. That might be a bit advanced for the current understanding. So we're going to stick today with an explanation of how the 7 chakras work. So your 7 chakras are connected to your nervous system. You have your brain, you have your thyroid, you have your heart, you have your ganglion nerve, you have your digestive system, and you have your reproductive system. All of these correlate with a chakra. All of these organs serve a different frequency function, and many of them are the emotional storage for what you're feeling. So oftentimes you might have moments where you are in a reality going, why did I create this? Why am I experiencing this? Because in your mind and in your ego, and maybe even in your heart, you are called something different. You are asked to experience something different, but that is just not what is happening. So for a practice, we ask you to begin asking what chakra, which in this case is going to equate to what organ. So we're going to, what organ or what chakra is creating this reality for me, or is creating this piece of the reality for me. And when you tune into your body, it will show you which organ is responsible for calling in that specific, or projecting, we should say, for projecting that specific part of your reality. And then that is where you begin to do the work. You can do energy work, you can do belief work, you can do more physical work. In the current channelers in this platform, both are carnivore. And in being carnivore, what they have done is they are able to clear out specific frequencies on a physical level within their digestive system and within their thyroid systems in order to project a different reality. Many others have used other types of support in the first and second planes to create these changes within their physical, which then create a change in the frequency. But there are many ways to work with its organs. We are merely today explaining the more precise definition of a way to access your ability to create a reality using the 7 chakras and thinking of these chakras as organs, as the actual correlating organ. What this also does is bring you back into your body. Many of you guys are carrying a belief and understanding that you are just an energy body and a soul and a mind, and that the body you are now in is sort of worthless. It's a meat suit. It gets left behind. It doesn't come with you. It's sort of a recyclable, reusable product that is not really meant to be held precious. And we are here to explain to you that your body is the entire paradigm in which you are experiencing this part of your soul. So it is everything to this experience you're having. It is everything. Experiencing through the body, experiencing the emotions, experiencing the disruptions, experiencing expansion. So in thinking of your chakras as how you are experiencing and projecting your reality, you are then able to shift that reality by connecting into the organs as their own mind, as their own way of thinking. Your womb thinks differently. Your stomach has its own thoughts. Your ganglion nerve system has its own thoughts. Your liver has its own thoughts. Your heart and lungs have their own thoughts. Your spinal column, your thyroids, your scalp, your skin itself is all having its own projection and frequency and thoughts. And when you tap into your body as its full thing, you are then entirely consciously connected to your subconscious mind. There are further steps to this with your energy body, your emotional body, and your auric field body. But for the sake of today's episode, we ask that in this small step in understanding your full power and control over the creation of your reality, today focus on the correlation of your organs to your chakras, and how you can work physically with those organs, how you can work energetically with those organs, how you can tap into those organs and ask them what they are thinking, because your mind will interpret the organ for you once you tap in and ask to speak to that specific organ. It can help many clear diseases. If you're having a cancer, or if you're having a disruption in any type of organ, go into a conversation with that organ and ask them what they need, ask them what they are getting too much of, ask them what beliefs are being held, ask what energies they need, what healings they need, and go into them and have that discussion. A lot of what the chaos that is being caused in the systems is the complete disconnection from the organ itself, from your body itself. It is like there is a shield. It's like your minds have been cut off from the full information of your body. So before we move this over to Orna to give her explanation, since she is a being that is able to fully incorporate and understand, fully naturally does not have the separation that humans do, we're very curious for her to share her natural ability to process her entire subconscious consciously, and share with you guys how that experience looks on the other side. But before we close out, can we clear from each and every one of you on this podcast, can we download, I am not separate from my body? Can we disconnect and dissolve the barriers in your mind that are keeping you from full connection in your body? Can we download those are now dissolved? Can we teach you that you understand and have full connection, full communication, and full embodiment with your entire body, that you're able to do this safely, with wisdom, with enjoyment, with curiosity, with joy, delight, with love, with grace, and with self-love and self-forgiveness? And we now turn this over to Orna.
Thank you, Creator, for that wonderful explanation of what chakras are, what they perform within everyone. Listening to this podcast is critical in my experience in working with Brett. It's so important that Brett remembers to ground himself on a regular basis. Because when he grounds himself, he maintains his chakras alignment. Everything is in good working order. Energy is being managed appropriately. The correct organs are connected to the correct chakra. When the grounding is not present, there begins to be problems. Energy doesn't flow from head to toe the way it should. Blockages can develop. Chakras never truly go offline, but they can be prevented from being able to fully and clearly move energy where it needs to be moved. I share this with everyone listening because grounding is critical. Grounding keeps the human physiology in balance. So that when you're performing these exercises the Creator is referred to, when you're going about your day and you are doing energy demanding things, doing readings, doing QHHT sessions, whatever modality you might be engaged in using, your chakras are critical because they're the gateways for that energy to travel through. The grounding is so critical. There was a period in time in the year 2023 when Brett believed that he had a blockage in his throat chakra. And in truth, he did, just not for the reasons he thought. His original thinking was he was having trouble speaking his truth because he still felt uneasy about sharing his true feelings. When he was unwell and he would share his true feelings, it was not a pleasant experience for him and those who heard him. He had to lose the belief that he did not deserve to be able to do these things because if he spoke freely, he might say something harmful to someone he cared about. I say all this because when your chakra is blocked or not functioning properly and fully, it's because of what you, the human, have chosen to believe and to use to block, to prevent the performance, to keep the energy from moving through the chakra as it should. So be certain to have eliminated the beliefs that you can't succeed at understanding these things. Brett truly is not focused on chakras so much these days because I assist him and remind him when he's not in the proper balance. And when Brett's not in the proper balance, our connection is not as good as we prefer. He's not able to recognize the meaning of certain energies. He's discombobulated to a great degree when he's out of alignment, when he's not properly grounded. Thankfully, he has learned this and goes out of his way to maintain proper grounding. He makes certain whenever he steps into the energy temples that he and his wife have created to ensure that he is properly grounded so that the energy flowing from the temple into him may flow freely and clearly and benefit his entire physiology. Chakras are very, very important to the proper functioning of the human being. Focus in meditation on maintaining your alignment. Recognize what each chakra does, what the organs they represent and control and share energy with, and trust These are gifts given to the human species. For myself as a light energy being, I no longer, and perhaps have never had a chakra that I'm aware of, because I am energy, cognizant energy, living energy that flows endlessly. Thanks be to Source for this truth. For those listening to this podcast, focus on being grounded. Ask your higher self while in meditation. Especially if you're feeling out of sorts, off your normal baseline, and request from your higher self, am I in proper alignment? For your higher self can assist you with this. Trust that your physiology will always be better served by keeping your chakras in alignment. We'll turn things back over to the Creator, where I know they have much more to say. Creator, it's now again your turn to speak.
We greatly appreciate you beginning that with the grounding, because the grounding is very, very important, especially when you're opening up and expanding your knowledge of what you truly are connected to. We oftentimes see when there is like an overload of divine energy without the grounding, that too can throw a human body off balance. Granted, you guys are becoming in your physiology as it changes with each of the new waves of light that are hitting Earth. Those physiologies are changing and shifting so that you are able to handle more light and that you are able to ground easier. But to close out this session, or this podcast with you all, we would like to we'd like to invite you guys to actually run through the practice with you. And we want to sort of, it's very important that we clear the things that are blocking you and leave you leaving this podcast with an actual understanding of what it is that you are being led to do. So to begin with, we would like to download into that you have easy access to this process. Can we download that your mind reaches for this process frequently? Can we clear the belief that when I leave this podcast, I will forget how to access myself? I don't know how to access myself. I don't know how to access my chakras. I've never been able to access my chakras. Energy confuses me. Energy work has always confused me. This spiritual stuff confuses me. I need a healer and a guide to access myself. I am not the expert. I do not know how to access myself. I need to study more to understand the chakras. Can we clear all of those beliefs from every cell in your body and all 4 belief layers? Can we also download, I am the highest power in myself. I understand myself. I understand my chakras. I know my chakras. I have direct connection to my chakras. I am open and aware of my chakras and what they are telling me. I remember how to use my energy. I remember how to heal with my own energy. I remember how to connect to source. I do connect to source. I know what connecting to source looks like. I know what my energy signature imprint is. I know how to communicate with my body. I do communicate with my body with ease. I am safe to now be open to communicating with my body, and I allow and permit myself to understand how my energy works, heals, and how I have power over my chakras in this work. So to start with, Can we download I am grounded? I know how to ground. I do ground. I live grounded. Now, once you're grounded, we want you to take a question of something in your life right now that is plaguing you, that is bothering you, that is just something that you cannot seem to get out of, and it feels impossible to solve. Once you have that, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to, there's no need to clear your mind. There's no need. The only thing here required is the trust of the very first thing you see in your mind is absolute truth. Can I download that you are safe to see the first thing in your mind? You are safe to trust the first thing in your mind. You do trust the first thing in your mind. And can we clear the belief, I don't know what I'm seeing. I can't see anything. I don't understand what's happening. And I do not see in my mind. Now, when you ask yourself, what is the organ that is involved in this pattern? And when you get that organ, the very first thing, whether it's something that you hear, whether it's something that you see, whether it's a sensation you feel in your body, whether it's something that lights up, whether it's something that thrums, any way that you feel the indication towards a specific organ. It might be one, it might be two, it might be three, it might be more. But take that very first organ, the very first one you heard, and I want you to ask this question. What do you need from me? What can be cleared from you? And what is the belief that you are holding? Continually ask each organ that comes up these questions. And the very first answer you get in your mind is the answer, even if it makes no sense. Remember, you have probably been cut off from this language for a while. This may take some practice, but the practice is in trusting that you are connected to your body and that you can trust that you are connected to your body. Your body will continually tell you what it needs. It will continue to tell you what organ is involved in the creation of this particular piece of your reality that you are experiencing. You can also work this in the opposite way, where you look at where in your life you are experiencing the love, the goodness, the delight. Ask which organ is involved in the creation of this. That organ will pop itself into your mind, and ask it how best you can keep nourishing it. And when you nourish that, you will see the love grow, the excitement, the creativity, whatever it is that you are giving nourishment to that organ to will continue to expand, because the organs are the lenses that are observing your reality. They are observing the particle arrangement, the frequency they are emitting is observing the particle arrangement of which you experience your reality. So run this practice, watch the magic unfold when you give your organs what they need and when you calibrate the frequency that they are needing to emit what your mind and what your thoughts are desiring to see, what your ego is leading you to the possibility of that for what it is possible for you to create in this world. And we will close with that.
Thank you, Creator. Speaking for Brett, Kate, and Creator, I want to thank all of you for listening today. Those of you who needed to hear this information are hearing it, and you're using it to better yourselves, your physiology, to grow your soul, to enhance your gifts. Continue doing the work that serves your purpose in the highest and best possible way. Until we gather again, I am Orna on behalf of Kate, Creator, and Brett. Have a blessed day and be kind to yourself and to one another. Till next time, farewell. Wow.
That was solid.
That was like 44 minutes of channeling almost.
Oh, that felt very fast. Like it felt
Yeah,
like
I did, but I'm looking at the time and we started like 1 minute after 2, and it's 2:44 here.
Oh my goodness. That was quite the, they were, I even got like a little clean out there for like, it was, it was incredible because it was like, Creator was like, here's how, because this is one, I mean, just for the audience, like this is something that I've been working with Creator for a while of like learning what the subconscious is, because you hear like, and I've seen in my clients, like you change the subconscious, the reality changes. And I'm like, this isn't just a mind thing, but I don't know what we're dealing with. And I'm kind of getting a piecemealed lesson, which is what Creator was saying, where it's like, and like when you were hearing Orna speak, and she was like, well, I don't really have chakras, I'm an energy. And Creator was like, you will get there, but right now we're focusing on this piece and then this piece and then this piece, because if we were to give you Orna's understanding, you would
I don't think that would work too well with human physiology.
So it was kind of like, it's like in my own thing, it's like, oh, here's the subconscious. Okay, great. What is the subconscious? Well, here's quantum physics. Okay, cool. How does that relate? Well, here's how it relates. Okay, here's how your physiology is changing to onboard this. And then now, like I've been having things in my life where I'm like, I've done the belief work. I've done the energy work. Like, why is this not here? And then that's when I got like this, well, because you're not working with the organs. Like the organs are their own transmitters, and they correlate with the chakras. So we think of chakras as energy centers, which they are, but we forget the body portion. So when, and Creator brought this up, which is like the carnivore diet, like why that works for some people is because it physically works on the organ that is in charge of emitting a specific frequency. So that's why you see when you work on that, your life shifts, because that frequency is then cleaned, and now it can observe particles differently than it did before, because that what observes a particle is how your reality is created. We know this in physics, but it's like, what's the observer? Well, it's the subconscious. Well, what is the subconscious? Well, it beginning in kindergarten, we're in kindergarten right now, and it's like, it's the chakras. You're like, it's so much more, as they explained, obviously, but for like, the kindergarten class on reality creation, it's the chakras.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. Well, I so appreciate these discussions, and I'm looking forward to the next time we get together, and we'll do it again. So I'm going to end the recording. Thank you all for being here, and we'll look for you the next time. We'll try to get you something within the next week or two, and just keep looking out and keep treating yourself with the wisdom and knowledge and the love that you so rightly deserve. And thank you very much. Till next time.